Hello, welcome to my podcast, and today we will be talking about a subject that may be a little touchy or disturbing for some, so some discretion may be advised. And before we start, I would like to state that throughout the podcast, I will be referring to laws within Washington state unless I say otherwise. So, my topic is euthanasia. And, well, what is euthanasia? Well, euthanasia can simply be put as what we call medically assisted suicide. This practice is not really talked about or mentioned a lot in like current politics or news, and to be honest, it's not really legal throughout most of the world. But to give you an idea of places it is legal, there's the Netherlands, Belgium, Washington State, Oregon, and some other places. But not anyone can just ask their doctor for euthanization, as there's a long process that the patient must go through before obtaining lethal medicine. First of all, you must be a patient with a terminal illness, so illnesses such as cancer or heart disease, and have 6 or less months to live. Now, the process will begin with the first initial oral request to the doctor. The doctor will then ask the patient to write a written request in which there must be two witnesses present. Both witnesses must also sign off on the request, stating that they truly believe that the patient is acting according to their own free will. Now the waiting period begins. The patient will have to wait at least 2 weeks before orally requesting euthanization again. This time, the doctor must offer a chance to rescind the request, but if the patient would like to move forward, they can be given a written prescription for their lethal medication. This medication is given in pill form and must be self-administered. Euthanasia is a practice that is frowned down upon for many different reasons. I myself was originally opposed to this practice as it included, literally killing someone else, until I watched this documentary on the practice. The documentary is called Allow Me to Die by SBS, and it showcases the many different patients that are on their paths to being euthanized. One woman really stuck out to me named Ava, and she stated that, quote, "It may seem strange, but I am looking forward to the rest. The choice has been made, the decision has been made. I am looking forward to the rest I have longed for so long," end quote. These words really changed my perception on the subject as a whole, as these patients in the documentary truly didn't really seem to be uncomfortable talking about their demise. In fact, the patients saw this as a way to end their constant pain faster, while also receiving a sense of peace within themselves, knowing that they will not have much time left on this earth with their chronic or terminal illnesses. Some may argue that the legalization of this practice deters living in general, but according to the Death with Dignity Act report of 2017 by the Washington State Department of Health, 87% of euthanized patients stated that their illnesses were the cause of them being less able to enjoy regular activities that made their life more enjoyable, and 73% of patients stated that the illnesses had caused them to lose their dignity in total. So the question still remains, is it more ethical to let these patients suffer for the rest of their lives, or peacefully and willfully have them accept their death? To answer this in my own words, I would say that since the process only moves forward with the consent of the patient, I believe that euthanasia should be a legal practice and should be more commonly practiced throughout the US. Euthanasia should be given to us as more of a civil liberty, as people should be able to choose what they do with their lives, terminal illness or not. So what should we do about it, you may be asking? Well, for starters, we should start looking towards making this practice more legal in more places. Well, since I assume that most of my listeners will be from the US, if you live in a state that currently doesn't allow euthanasia, go contact your local state representatives and let them know that this is an issue that they should be focusing on. Let them know that you care, and go vote for the candidates that would like to see euthanasia legalized. Or don't, since we live in a democracy and you can do whatever you want. But I highly encourage you to go contact your local state representative and let them know that this is an issue that they need to be focusing on. If you'd like to go visit some more information on this subject, visit deathwithdignity.org or go visit the Washington State Department of Health's website. Both sites have a ton of helpful information on the subject that helped me personally understand this subject even more. Thanks so much for listening to my podcast. There we go. Almost at the 5 second mark, a 5 minute mark, and